Life is like a journey. What happened today was what I've done in the past, and the collection of experience and people that I met. And I do met a lot of people, being in overseas or in Indonesia, but everybody actually give me a triggering point to mold me as today.
Hello guys, I'm Elis Sumarto. We are at the Veranda Resort Residential Collection. We are at the show unit in the Veranda. I'm with Alex Bayu, the Maestro of Interior Design. He is our consultant at the Veranda. Hi Alex, how are you?
Alice. I'm well. How are you?
That's good. I'm good, thank you. I always admire your artwork. To me, like all your artwork is a masterpiece.
Thank you.
So, what's inspired you to be who you are today, Alex?
Well, I guess life is like a journey. What happened today was what I've done in the past, and the collection of experience and people that I met. And I do met a lot of people, being in overseas or in Indonesia, but everybody actually give me a triggering point to mold me as today. Right? The traveling you did is also one of important thing, right? And sometimes we may think that imperfect, that I need to fix it during the project, and that also give me an experience how to take care of things when things didn't go the way it's supposed to be. What inspired me to be who am I was a life journey that I went through, people that I met, the traveling that I went through. Sometimes I met people or object or thing that actually kind of decors your life, but that's what make it interesting.
Yeah, but
Right.
I heard about since you're 5 years old, you started to find your
I
you
was
know,
a
like
painter
your
actually.
gift.
I mean, when I was young, I actually enjoyed doing that doodling. So it developed into start with superhero, and I started developing into a painting skill. My dad gave me a course that I actually learned from one painter in Surabaya, and it kind of get me hooked up. I've been doing painting for quite a while, until a point that I want to quit my education. And from that moment he started to worry, because in 1970, 1980, early of that, you don't really have a lot of successful painter.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot of time
correct.
the painter was kind of
Yeah,
poor and gambel lah.
yeah,
And my friend was tattoo, long hair.
Yeah.
So he's a bit worried. So he did send me overseas. He sent me to New York actually. But I did fortunate he did that for me. It kind of let me open my eye, and in 1980 to go overseas was a bit rare. So I managed to see the world, and kind of inspired me that I can explore my work or my joy in the art by creating art in a space, which will give me income compared to the painting.
Yeah.
So that's how I start my journey there. And as I say, in New York, you meet a lot of people. You meet a good one, bad one, all that, and then you see a lot of things. Traveling is one of the good inspiration for every designer. I do travel quite a bit, and that also give me piece by piece of puzzle.
yeah.
That soon of those puzzle, as you grow through your work, you can assemble it into an experience, and that's more who you are today.
Wow, that's interesting.
Right.
I mean, like I heard before you like to apply as an architect, but then you somehow you changed to be an.
I did. I applied in architecture as in 1980. There is no interior design in Indonesia, so I have no idea there's something called interior design.
Okay.
So I did apply architecture, and I did get accepted. But before I went into school, I started to realize that in New York, you see all high-rise building, Empire State, all the building, there is really no new building. So I'll say if I graduate from architecture, what do I build? There's no space to build. But then I pay attention, there's a lot of renovation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of restoration. So old building revamp again, interior come in and out, new offices, new retail, new housing. Suddenly I see, wow, the market is so big down there. It changed my mind. Then I decided, okay, instead of the architecture, I just go to interior. Although today I do architecture also, but I do it because of passion. It's not about I want to do it. It's just because I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the things why I developed that we have become strength in how the layout work.
Yeah.
Because as we believe, layout do change how people interact with the space. If you look at it, the writer of the book tells a story from the book. Producer movie tells a story from movie. We as a designer tell a story from a space. So the space actually give you story bit by bit. And when you assemble, it actually become interesting.
That's nice. Because like every time we talk about, like high-end interior design, it's always identical with Alex Bayu. Well, actually, like how did you reach that at that stage?
Well, as I mentioned, it's actually a journey. You can't just do high-end at one shot.
Yeah.
You gotta prove it. So each job that we did, we've been having a habit that being very transparent to the client, and I always finish the project. We always have to complete the project. We don't leave the project dangling. And sooner or later, you actually build up a market to go into a certain area. And I also always try to put my personal touch in the project, and I do not lock into one style. I can do many styles.
Yeah.
But my personality was always inflected inside the work.
In every your project, yeah.
Yeah. Every project as an artist or designer, we actually will have a style. Even a chef have a style. How you cook, even they cook pasta, one chef pasta and another chef pasta are different. So I do have my personal touch, and I've been quite well known of being eclectic. Right? I enjoy mixing. I don't care the product is old, damaged, or has a history or that. The older the product, the more history it is, the more I enjoy using them, because they actually inflicted part of the story in the room. Right? A room is like a stage creator. How do you create a stage? You want to be a Cinderella movie, the dress all are different. You want a James Bond movie, the dress are all different. The setting are different. So room are exactly the same thing. So what do you want to tell a story there? So a room with a history or personality will always more enjoyable than the room that everything's brand new. So history, character was built by history also. And the habit of the person actually build that character, and that make personality. So we believe in internal beauty, not physical beauty. Internal beauty is actually more beautiful than physical beauty. I mean, you met beautiful, good-looking people, all that, but if they got no soul, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
So you do want to meet people that have a charm inside.
Yeah.
And that's also a room are the same thing. Just beautiful by polishing is no soul. You want to have something with the soul.
Yeah, nice. I mean, like when you talk about personality, every time we see your interior, I mean, like it's not only me, but other people always see like, oh, this is interior design by Alex Bayu. Is that correct? So everyone, they understand like it's your personality, right? So doing work with your clients, like your clients means like you need to instill your personality and their personality. How does it work?
Well, everybody will have a character that is built in, including me and you. During the process of designing, we actually have a lot of interaction with client. We're talking about like private home, We a lot of time have dinner with them, we have a discussion with them, interview with them. Without anybody realizing is I'm actually taking note. The note was actually implanted in where is my brain are. Everybody walk differently, everybody talk differently, laugh differently. That is the personality of that person. Some people laugh and they say, oh, so charming the way you laugh. Actually, personality is being built up there. Now, without their realizing it, I'm actually taking on the note. Human are the same thing. There's a few bracket. What kind of personality? Are you the casual one? Are you the formal one? Are you a bit ready to go a bit crazy kind of thing? That personality are reflecting in the home that you want to create with them. And I've been doing this for 33 years, so obviously I do have a lot of data to bracket them. By doing so, we can get a lot closer to individual in creating the space for them.
That's nice. So working with clients means like you need to meet up the deadlines and everything. How does, I mean, like during this condition, the pandemic, how does it work? I mean, like, is it you always can meet up your deadline, or sometimes it can be delayed?
Pandemic do change a lot of life. It's new thing. I mean, this virus is new for me also, as everybody. The first 6 months of the condition came, we were totally handicapped.
Okay.
So, but after that, luckily, my company was never be in one city all along. So we already got used to about call video conferencing.
Yeah.
So since March, we already trained all my kids to go online since last year, March. And until today, we have not even come into the office yet. So we've been finishing project after project. So with protocol, what we have, we need to adapt. So the first month was the tough one for us. After that, we've been able to get used to and use the online as the tool to help us. So we use video, we use camera, we use any tool we can use to do that. And secondly, what I do, I create my office as the main port. My conference room is actually become a portal that I can control a lot of site, a lot of country using one system. And we have proven so far has been quite successful. Last year during the pandemic, we managed to hand over 14 projects.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and with that
Amazing.
6 months, we have a little bit of difficulty, but after that, everything just go rolling and rolling.
Is it more effective during the pandemic because you can easily communicate with them, or same?
Yes, so certain part pandemic make it faster.
Okay.
So when during the pandemic 6 months, we are all scared. My team's scared, I'm scared, everybody's scared. So going to site, it becomes the worry that we have. But that's slowly we start to adapting and try to understanding how shall we go on site. I mean, the protocol is being restricted. That all my sites, suddenly we give them guideline. All sites will have to have sink and clean, and the protocol, everybody had to wear masks in on site, right? Then we actually wear double mask also at the same time. And we limit the amount of meeting that people don't gather at one time. So we go by slot timing. And a lot of meetings do not need to be on site.
Okay.
So we can just go site, take a note, check all that. We can have a conference somewhere else, which is our office is one place we can do that. From there, we can carry on the meeting without a full time on site. So we limit the time of being on site. And the site is one area that's a bit worry. Right? By doing so, we still can manage the project. Right? A lot of coordination can be used video.
Okay.
Right? The WhatsApp call, all that's being tool that we're using all since last year. And so far we have tried and we seem quite successfully put it together. As for the team that doing drawing, all that, actually quite a number of our team already, we call it Pulang Kampung.
Oh, okay.
They were in Sukabumi, they were in Jawa
They can
Tengah.
work anywhere, yeah?
Yeah, they've been working anywhere, and every morning we actually have a meeting. We dedicate time to meet to know what their progress on daily basis.
Wow. There is a lot of adjustment during this pandemic, and of course it's more effective for you as well.
Yeah, we all have to adapt because life goes on.
Yep.
I really don't see this pandemic gonna go over soon. So what we did is, first thing first, we adapt. Actually, as per speaking as it today, we've been adjusting a lot of residents that we decide to cater the pandemic. How the system gonna work when people start come home until they meet the family. Those are the journey that we are actually reconfigure, because we are design consultant.
Yeah.
Our job is to solve that problem.
Okay, that's nice.
We are actually helping people how to create a space. So people never think that you need a foyer before.
Okay.
The foyer becomes super important today. Kitchen through the entrance is very good. The entrance that you can go in and out without disturbing the whole residence is also important. Where you can wash your hand, as a matter of fact, you can even take shower before you go into the house. It's also important. That will actually kind of clean up. We call it filtering. Right? You never think about in US there's always this foyer, or they call it mudroom, that you actually usually take your boot, clean up your your shoe, all that before go in. That becomes so many. So private lift lobby is become important today, because not just because privacy, it's just because space you can park your thing first before enter your main residence. Right? So those are few things that we know is become essential. Besides working at home, you need a table, all this blah blah blah. And we do have a lot of people start working outside of Jakarta.
Alex Bayu is the founder of Genius Loci, world-class brand for interior design. So anak bangsa yang mendunia. Kita bangga sekali ada Alex Bayu yang namanya reputasinya sudah go internasional. So what was your dream at the first?
Well, we established Genius Loci in 2002. I started up, but didn't take very long. I actually have a partner, Benjamin Kim, right? And two of us actually built the group. Well, the dream was very simple. We just want to have a proper consultant firm. While this industry, there's a lot of hidden agenda sometimes. So we just want to have it very clean firm. And from there, we start to expand. Actually, we did start to China first. Then from China, apparently I built to Surabaya, then up to Jakarta, then Kuala Lumpur, then the last one happened to be in Chengdu, China again. But we do have a partnership, so I already a lot more in Indonesia. Benjamin is handling Singapore and Malaysia. And we have associate partner, which is Sanhao, is handling our China side, right? We do have a Shirley that help us in Malaysia side also. So yeah, we build up. Now is no more just 1-2 person anymore. We already at the 4 partnership here. So each of us have our own territory to manage.
Okay. When it comes to your name, Alex Bayu, when I mention your name, people always relate you as a interior designer with a character. So you don't choose, like the client don't choose you, but you choose the client. So it's very interesting. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, I don't know whether I can choose all the client. Just being humble is not until like that extreme. But what it does is I don't fix one design. I enjoy just keep moving around. I do classic, I do Tuscany, I do colonial, I do quite a number of style. And I do enjoy that because to me it's not really too boring, and every project is like a fresh new project for me. So I don't repeat the work all the time. That's been an enjoyment in my book. So what we does is when a project starts, I actually try to understand the client instead. So it's not the client try to find designer to meet the style of the designer, but I'll try to understand the client character in order for me to give them a house or home or space that fit into their individuality.
How did it take to maintain the reputation until now?
Discipline is obviously one of the work that all of our partners need to stand by. All of us need to have some guideline of the company that we all follow. And consistency is also another one. So every work that we do, it has to be very consistent. It has to be always well. Just like a restaurant. If you have a restaurant and the food is very consistent, you will always come back. But if you go have a restaurant one day, nice food, tomorrow not good, all that, you will never come back to that restaurant again.
Talking about Veranda, when you first being offered this project, what do you see this project will be?
Okay, well, when Pak Ben talked to me about this project, I mean, actually, I did work with Pak Ben on another project before this, happened to be Permata Hijau Suite. And when he mentioned about this project, and he did invite me come to the site. So when I see the site, I kind of feel this is a unique site. I mean, as an artist, we're always looking for canvas.
Yeah.
It's how I can express our work. I mean, without canvas, I cannot express it. So when I see this site, I see the green, all that, and the thinking building a unit in the middle of a green forest there. And that happened to be inspiring for me. And I immediately agree with it. Let's do something on this.
Yeah. And then how you choose the design, like the theme of the design that suit with our project?
As I mentioned before, that my character of the design tend to be eclectic.
Yeah.
And this particular project, I was looking a little bit of mixing some colonial and European at the same time.
Yeah.
So I take some traditional colonial element, like the skirting, the molding, all that, and I kind of mix it together with the European furniture to give this new style, right? And its own identity. And I leave this for Veranda. And so you don't get it too resorty, because there's quite a lot of resort kind of unit, because forest suddenly people put resort. But I feel that have a little bit of romance in colonial is nice. But at the same time, I don't want to make it too colonial like in the Dutch period, but I kind of mix it with European, the today one. And by blending it, actually you create a new identity.
Yeah.
That was not done before.
Yeah, interesting. Every time our people, when they come here, they visit us, and then when they come into the show unit, the display, they feel like homey, feels like home. And they directly like, okay, who is the designer?
Well, thank you for the compliment.
So what the purpose you want to achieve for, the theme of the interior?
Actually, it was very simple. Experience. I mean, if the person can relate their life in the unit that they're having, it's easy for them to understand why they want to stay here. So we actually do that. We spend time, we do research, all that, and build the unit that they can experience it. For example, in Veranda, there's actually 2 show units. A lot of people are selling unit by using floor plan. If you tear this wall, you can become big unit. Instead of tell them, we show them.
Yeah.
So they can experience themselves. If you have a 2 unit connect into one, how does it feel?
Yeah.
So I don't need to tell you how it looks, but you can see yourself. And that's a lot more convincing than just telling people like, oh, you should buy 2, then you connect, you tear this wall, all that. To me, that's marketing talk. Yeah, the experience will overtake a lot of selling product. So the marketing don't need to talk too much.
Yeah.
Just show them like this. And immediately you can see the size, the majestic of it, and you can relate. If I have 2 rooms like this is how big my room is going to be.
Yeah. Alex, many people are very inspired by you. Because of your successful, actually it drag people to come and to know you in person. But not only young generation, old generation, but I'd like you to share to young generation what tips you want to share with them.
Okay. Every young kid, when they start a school, they always have a dream.
Yeah.
When they apply the first day, their application to the school, being a doctor, a lawyer, or a designer, an architect, or accounting, or they have a dream. I come to the school because one day I want to be something.
Yeah.
Now, in reality, a lot of people, when they graduate, they start to detour from the dream. They move industry, they start selling product, they work in MLM, they become an agent, they become insurance agent, so whatever they study or they dream, it actually slowly disappear. If your dream is that strong, stay with it. It doesn't matter how the world's gonna treat you.
Okay.
But by staying on course, one day it will reveal by itself. I didn't really call myself successful yet, but of course, I'm be able to inspire people. Will be it's a joy.
Yeah.
But for somebody to be able to, there's a lot of successful people also. But I always believe that this discipline and consistency about what they have in mind while they're in school, or the dream that they have during the school time, was the most pure one that you have. Maintaining that until the old age of you will come to help you to become somebody.
Thank you Alex Bayu, you are very inspiring. Thank you for the inspiring talk with Alex Bayu. Jadi seorang Alex Bayu sosok yang berhasil tapi yet humble, very inspiring. Dengan konsistensi, persisten, disiplin, ini adalah modal utama untuk menjadi seorang yang sukses dan berhasil seperti seorang Alex Bayu. Jadi saya mengucapkan terima kasih untuk kehadirannya beliau siang hari ini bersama dengan The Veranda, salah satu wujud nyata dari kemewahan sentuhan seorang Alex Bayu menjadi desain yang begitu mewah dan eksklusif di The Veranda. Dengan kemewahan desain sentuhan dari Alex Bayu di The Veranda dengan konsep Resort Living, ini membuat mimpi Anda menjadi kenyataan. Saya Elis Sumarto bersama Alex Bayu, mohon undur diri dari hadapan Anda. Sampai jumpa lagi.